in Coldwater. Also a $2 million prize from Powerball. More news in 1 hour on 1039 WIAB. I'm Chris Davis.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees. Come together.
Happy Friday. It is finally Friday. You are tuned in to the Lindsey Beckham Show here on WYAB, coming to you from the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios, right here in the heart of Flora, the Cotton Exchange Plaza. I hope everyone is excited about the weekend, long weekend, holiday weekend, Labor Day weekend. Get an extra day in there, or most people do anyway. Maybe just not the ones who actually labor. But I hope everyone has plans to spend the holiday weekend with your family, doing something relaxing and fun. Maybe not talk about politics for a few days. I very seriously doubt that happens, but it's always a good thought. So I actually have lots of things that I wanted to talk about this week, and you know how it goes. Like God's going to laugh if you tell him your plans, and he's going to laugh. But the school shooting in Minneapolis kind of just took on the whole show Wednesday as that was going on, and just heartbreaking to watch that play out. I talked about it Wednesday, and then Sean and I talked about it again yesterday. Still more news coming out of that whole situation. I'm hearing that the mom of the shooter is not cooperating, kind of surprisingly. It's not what you usually see. I don't know if she's afraid charges will be brought against her, but she has, in fact, hired a defense attorney, which if you listen to Sean and I kind of talk about our different opinions on the topic, I think if you are a parent and you are affirming a child's mental illness when it comes to changing their name or identifying as the opposite sex, I think that's completely child abuse. I think that is confusing. I think that is not good for a child. And I think that parents that do that should be held accountable. Now, that's not the way it works. It's not against the law to sign off on your child changing their name. But when you play in to these mental illnesses of children especially, you're playing with fire. Their brains are not fully developed. Their frontal lobe is not fully developed. The synapses inside their brain are not completely formed or closed or whatever it is they do. I'm no brain surgeon. But what I do know is that we can allow too much too soon for children, and it's detrimental to their health and their well-being. We talk about mental health a lot, and I call this a mental health issue because I completely and totally believe, actually I know that it is a mental health issue, gender dysphoria. But one thing I don't want to do is give way for every school across the country to begin implementing their form of mental illness help, which could come down to screenings that are mandated, referrals to psychologists, psychologists, Zooms and telehealth visits without parental permission or consent or knowledge. That is scary in and of itself. While we have seen an uprise in mental health conditions, I don't think the answer is to throw more SSRIs at our young people. I don't think the answer is to coddle and baby them and tell them their feelings are the only thing that matters. There's a great book by Abigail Shrier called Bad Therapy. I don't know at what point in this life we have decided that all children must need therapy. No, they need to go outside and play. Use their imaginations and play, real play. Go ride some bikes, put on some roller skates. That's what they need. They need interaction. They need to know they have somebody that they can depend on, that they can trust. That's what they need. Sometimes they even need to be told, suck it up. Suck it up, buttercup. Life's not easy. Life's not always fair. You're going to be sad. You're going to be angry. You're going to cry. You're going to want to throw things in life. People are going to hurt your feelings. But you got to put on your big girl panties and deal with it. Because that's life. Life's not easy. I don't know at what point we begin to tell our young people, oh, well, how do you feel about this? And you shouldn't stand for that if you feel this way. No. No, you are setting a child up to fail. They're going to have to feel things, and it's okay. It's going to be okay. We all do. I think that we have just begun to throw therapy at young children who, again, their brains are not fully formed. SSRIs, we've seen, the data is clear. I think every single person that has walked into a school and shot it up has been on some sort of SSRI medication. I'll tell you what, RFK is on fire this week. Now that's what I voted for. That is what I voted for. He is killing it. He has come out and spoken since the school shooting happened Wednesday morning that we need to be looking at these medications that are being prescribed for young children. This is something that needs to be researched and maybe changed or done away with. Because every single one of them has been on one of these types of medication. So clearly, it's not working. He sees the issue there, and I think that that's a really good thing, that this is something that he is going to be looking into and attempting to make new policy moving forward in an effort to stop some of this mess. He said that he is going to demand immediate change in med schools to address diseases. And I think that is an amazing first step. So not only that, but a while back, RFK promised us that he was going to do the research and he was going to look at the numbers and he was going to look at all the data and he was going to figure out this autism epidemic. Numbers have increased so drastically over the last 10 years, especially in boys. We now see 1 in 12.5 boys in the state of California with autism diagnosis. That's incredibly concerning. That's scary. There has to be a reason why. Now, I'm not saying that there are not multiple reasons why, but I can tell you 100% what one of those reasons is. And that's the outrageous amount of vaccines we give our babies. 72, in fact, by the time a child turns 18 years old. That is what is recommended by the CDC. and the American Academy of Pediatrics. Disgusting. He vowed to do the research, to do the safety studies that have never been done. You heard me right. All that safe and effective nonsense they've been telling you, lies. They don't have the research to back that up. They don't have the safety studies to back that up. There have never been any double-blind placebo safety testing done on the vaccines of the childhood schedule. And not only that, but they have never studied the effects of giving all of them together. All of these 72 vaccines and all these doses of them together in one child. Like the way the CDC recommends you do your child, hasn't been studied. He vowed to do that. He vowed to find answers, and he and President Trump spoke on Tuesday. They talked about banning mRNA vaccines in the near future, and RFK said, I've got answers. And I'm going to give you the public those answers next month in September. Come on, September. How many mamas and daddies are so ready to be validated because what they've been saying, they know is true? There's no doubt in my mind, not the slightest doubt. I watched it happen in front of my eyes, and you're not going to tell me not to believe my lying eyes. I saw it. It was immediate. Immediate. You don't take one child to a well baby visit and bring home a different one. But I did. I'm so ready to hear what RFK has to say next month about these studies that he's done and this testing that he is doing and the data collection and what he is finding. Now, I think there are probably a lot of environmental factors that play into this. In fact, I think our own genetics play into this as well. If you are someone who has the MTHFR gene, if you are MTHFR positive, or even double MTHFR positive, your body does not absorb things the way that it should. Therefore, it becomes toxic in your body, in your brain. It's not hard to understand. It's quite simple, actually. And it's disgusting that the pharmaceutical industry and the CDC thinks so little of Americans that they think we can't figure this out. Thank goodness for RFK. I'll say it again. That's what I voted for. I voted for an administration that's going to get to the bottom of it and find these answers and protect our children. And it seems like to me that has been RFK's number one agenda item. So I just give him a round of applause. I'm excited to see what he has found out and what is going to change from here on out. What we're going to do to make things different, what we're going to do to change it, what we're going to do to make things better. That's what we need. We got to take a break, but y'all stay with us. There's lots more I want to talk about today. We will be right back here on The Lindsey Beckham Show.
WYAB.
Did you know that the average six-room house collects 40 pounds of dust each year? Local business Pure Air Consultants duct cleaning service can rid your home of the dust, dirt, and debris that may be caught in your air ducts. They can eliminate the mold, fungi, and microbes that might be growing inside your ductwork and polluting the air you breathe in your home. Mention WYAB and receive a free UV light with system replacement. Visit online at mypureairconsultants.com. mypureairconsultants.com.
Friday night lights, family, and a hot Johnny's Pizza House pizza on the table. Now, that's our kind of hustle. Make it a soup to kitchen and bring everyone together. Johnny's Pizza House. Let's share a slice. Here in the South, we keep our football loud and our pizza loaded. Grab a Johnny's Pizza House sweep the kitchen and cheer on your hometown team. Johnny's Pizza House. Let's share a slice.
Pure Air Consultants has always been your go-to for reliable and affordable heating and cooling systems, and now we are offering day and night brand to avoid the 25 to 30% increases that everyone is talking about. With day and night, Pure Air Consultants professionals can install a reliable system with a 10-year system warranty, and right now receive $20 off on service diagnostic fees. Call us today, 601-939-7420, mypureairconsultants.com.
Why don't you mind your own business?
Mind my own business? What's that supposed to mean?
No, I was just thinking about all of the news of tax changes, insurance changes, regulations that are being passed down to business owners. I don't have the time to keep growing and to keep up with changing payroll regulations.
I know. It seems like all I do is handle employee-related problems.
You know, I hear People Lease can help.
How can they help?
People Lease can handle our payroll, taxes, employee benefits, and workers' compensation. They even offer an affordable and customizable 401k program and a 24/7 online human resources support center for all my HR needs.
Think of all the time we'll save letting People Lease handle our payroll and benefits administration. I'll be busy growing my business and letting People Lease take care of the rest.
Sounds like a good business plan with People Lease.
Let People Lease mind your business so you can mind your own business. Call now, 601-987-3025. That's 601-987-3025. Or visit freepayrollquotes.com for your free quote.
Get the jump on the season at the #1 stop for all your boating and custom water sports needs, Smith Marine. Crest pontoons are here. Come experience luxury and style with a 90-day, no payment, no interest financing option with approved credit. Plus a 1-year CTO membership, free cover, free Bimini top, and free inflatable tube. And these crests are pre-rigged with Suzuki motors and Suzuki's industry best warranty. Smith Marine also buys quality pre-owned boats with consignments and trade-ins on the res in Ridgeland and at smithmarinesales.com.
It's time to put a little more sizzle in your red-hot Mississippi summer at Mazda of Jackson. Drive away on your road trip with a boost from Mazda of Jackson's $1,000 off owner loyalty reward and low 1.9% financing on a 2025 CX-90, CX-70, and the Assembled in America CX-50. And take advantage of the pre-tariff inventory before it's gone. It's time to choose Mazda. Shop online at MazdaofJackson.com or visit Mazda of Jackson, I-55 Frontage Road in Jackson.
Tri-County Tree Service, the Jackson Metro's premier company to handle all of your tree service needs. Russ Borland and his team specialize in large tree, low-impact removal. Tri-County Tree Service has the right equipment to safely handle the most technical trim jobs or tree removals. Storm damage can happen year-round, so let them clean it up and they'll deal with your insurance claim. Tri-County Tree Service, by phone at 601-TREE-GUY or online at tricotreeservice.com. That's tricotreeservice.com.
Come together.
Welcome back to the Lindsey Beckham Show on this dreary Friday afternoon. But hey, at least it is Friday. That's what I say. I know my kids are glad they have a long weekend, and I've got to, can't not say happy birthday to my 14-year-old today. My Rally Bug, she is an 8th grader, and she is turning 14 today. So happy birthday, Riley. Super proud of that sweet girl. I tell people all the time, she's the only one who is not biologically mine yet. She's my sweetest child. And I don't know what that says about me, but you just go with it. I did want to tell everybody that about the 2025 Mississippi Book Festival that is going to be held at the state capitol. We went last year. Sean and I went last year. Can y'all believe he went to a book festival with me? He was okay being seen with me at a book festival. I'm kidding. But they have some panels. We went to a panel last year. Shad White spoke. And they were talking about the welfare scandal, and Shad's book had just come out at that time, and that's one thing they were discussing, and they had his book for sale. But I saw they have some really great panels coming up this year. One of those is a political journalism and it's got the several authors. One that wrote "In Trump's Shadow: The Battle for 2024 and the Future of the GOP." Another book that the author is going to be there to discuss is Butler: The Untold Story of the Near Assassination of Donald Trump and the Fight for America's Heartland. And then Jonathan Allen, who wrote Fight, which is one that I actually bought and read. It was really, really good. He's done several. He did one about Hillary Clinton as well that I have not read yet, but I do want to read. But he'll be a part of that panel. And so that one looks really, really interesting. They also are having the 20th anniversary of Katrina, which is going to be presented by Horn LLP and Mississippi Today. Former Governor Haley Barbour will be there to talk about that. Our Speaker Pro Tem, Manley Barton, will also be there. Ricky Matthews is going to moderate it, and Jim Barksdale will also be there to discuss Katrina and the effects of that and how there have been lasting effects of Katrina on not only New Orleans, but also the Mississippi Gulf Coast. I've heard a lot of people discussing the new Netflix documentary. Sean and I watched one a few weeks ago, but I don't think it was this new Netflix one that we were watching. But it is quite frustrating to watch these documentaries and them not talk about Mississippi when Mississippi was so hurt by Katrina. And areas are still attempting to build back and recover 20 years later. So I wish they would do a better job at giving the whole story. I talked about this, I think, a little bit last week, talking to you guys about the Amy Bradley documentary on Netflix. I think you have to be so careful with these documentaries because whoever is behind the camera or whoever is producing these, they have an ability to spin them in a way to make you believe whatever the narrative is that they support. So you can have an opinion on something and watch one of these documentaries that is spun in one direction, and then it can change your mind completely. And they may not be lying to you. They might not be reporting false information, but they can also just leave some things out that are very important and that change your whole opinion of the topic. We see that happen a lot with these documentaries. The Katrina one being case in point. I have not watched the new one, but from everything I'm hearing, they left out a lot. 601-879-0002 is the number to the station if you want to call in. If you have anything you want to give your opinion on or get off your chest or scream at me about or tell me I'm right all the time, we'd love to hear from you. So be sure to get your calls in if you would like to do so. I had Sean in here Tuesday when we talked about the Adelson trial. Now, that's the big trial of this week that is playing out in Tallahassee, Florida. Because of the school shooting and all the things in the news, I didn't get to watch the trial live the last few days. So last night I stayed up trying to catch up on everything I've missed. And there has been a lot. There has been a lot that has played out on that witness stand. I'm telling you, it's just the most interesting. I know I told everybody, Karen Reed, there's never been a case like this. That this is I think it was the corruption with that. The corruption and how anyone could be accused of something and be set up, and how scary it was that this was playing out in Boston or right outside of Boston in Canton, Massachusetts. But this case, this Adelson trial, I mean, it's just got a little bit of everything, and it keeps taking these twists and turns that you're not expecting. So this is the matriarch of the Adelson family who is on trial for setting up a murder of her son-in-law, who was a law professor in Tallahassee, Florida. She has 3 children, a daughter, Wendy, who was married to the man that she allegedly helped kill, a son, Charlie, who's already been convicted and is in prison for playing a part in it. Then there's her oldest son, Rob, and he took the stand. I don't think anybody knew that was coming. And boy, was he ready to talk. He threw his mama under the bus so fast. He talked about how controlling she is. And I think Sean's going to come in on Monday. We are going to do a show on Monday on Labor Day, and we are going to break down everything that's happened since he was here Tuesday in the Adelson, or since he was here this past Mondays in the Adelson trial. So y'all don't want to miss that. I'm telling you, it's an exciting one. If you don't if you don't have a job, you've got to tune in to Law and Crime or Court TV. The live streams, they are live streaming it every day. Some of my favorite law tubers who covered the Karen Reed trial are also covering this one. And it's the hot trial of today. It's got a little bit of everything. It's got marriage, divorce, custody battle, murder for hire plot, mother-in-law, gang members. The list goes on and on. It will keep you entertained. You will not be bored. Speaking of gang members, what happened in Rankin County this week? 2 murders, and then I guess sometime during the night, the Sheriff's Department, the Rankin County Sheriff's Department and Brandon PD were able to track this dude down. But I woke up to pictures of this guy being arrested in nothing but his underwear, standing next to Brian Bailey, and they both have these huge grins on their face. I was thinking, what world did I just wake up in? This is the creepiest thing I've ever seen in my life. No, I mean, no disrespect. Good job to those guys out there for being on it and being able to get this guy off the streets sooner rather than later. Prayers for the 2 families who lost loved ones this week at the hands of this guy. I looked him up in the VineLink system, which is, I mean, anybody can go and look, and it shows you Mississippi inmates. If they are in custody at the time, it tells you where they are and a number you can call if you need more information. So I looked him up this morning, see if they had booked him in yet, and to make sure he hadn't bailed out somehow, because I had heard that a rumor was circulating that he had already been released. And I thought, there's no way. So I looked him up, and I laughed so hard because they had him listed under gender, which, by the way, there is no gender. Gender does not exist. It is not a thing. There are 2 sexes, 0 genders, infinite personalities. I'll never stop saying that because that's the truth, and the world needs to hear it. But I looked him up, and next to gender, it had female. And I just laughed so hard, and I thought, okay, somebody is playing a trick over there. They're going to trans this guy out since, we just had the trans shooter earlier this week. And since that's been such a point of contention between the left and the right, the left wants to preach about guns. The right wants to talk about the trans agenda and mental health issues. And I just want to scream, who cares about either? Secure our schools, make sure our kids are safe. That's the issue here. That's what we can do. We can't change the hearts of children who are walking into schools, and we can't change the way their parents raise them. We can't change the fact that they can find access to a gun. But what we can do is have someone at every single door guarding that place while our children are there. That's what we can do. Why we're not doing that, I will never understand. And I will continue to rant and rave about it until somebody realizes that I have a really good point here. This will work. All right, we are up against our next commercial break, but y'all stay with us. Lots more to talk about here on this Friday on the Lindsey Beckham Show. We will be right back. Friday on the Lindsey Beckham Show. We will be right back.
1039 WYAB.
Friday night lights, family, and a hot Johnny's Pizza House pizza on the table. Now that's our kind of hunt. Make it a sweep the kitchen and bring everyone together. Johnny's Pizza House. Let's share a slice. Here in the South, we keep our football loud and our pizza loaded. Grab a Johnny's Pizza House, sweep the kitchen, and cheer on your hometown team. Johnny's Pizza House. Let's share a slice.
Nick Bain served Mississippi for over a decade in the State House. During that time, he fought for our children by protecting them against explicit materials pushed by the woke agenda. He protected taxpayers by streamlining government and helped create policies that have made Mississippi better. Nick and his team at Bain Bowen will use the same tenacity in helping you with all your legal matters. Call them today at 601-953-2994. Find Nick online at bainbowen.com. That's BAIN Bowen.com.
Did you know that the average six-room house collects 40 pounds of dust each year? Local business Pure Air Consultants duct cleaning service can rid your home of the dust, dirt, and debris that may be caught in your air ducts. They can eliminate the mold, fungi, and microbes that might be growing inside your ductwork and polluting the air you breathe in your home. Mention WYAB and receive a free UV light with system replacement. Visit online at mypureairconsultants.com. mypureairconsultants.com.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
CBS News Brief. The holiday weekend travel rush has begun. CBS's Nicole Valdez is in Nashville.
There are no major delays, cancellations for flights across much of the country right now, and lines here are not very long getting through security.
Texas Democratic State Representative Trey Martinez Fisher is firing back at Governor Greg Abbott. Abbott signed a bill that changes the congressional map to send 5 additional Republicans to the U.S. House.
Don't delete your emails. Don't delete your text messages, because that's where we're going to go next. You may win today. We will have our opportunity in federal court.
A judge says there will not be a decision today on a request for a temporary injunction by Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook. President Trump is trying to fire her. And CBS's Natalie Brand says there is upheaval at another federal agency.
President Trump is also facing increasing pushback after firing CDC Director Susan Monteras, which triggered several other top officials at the agency to resign.
CBS News Brief. I'm Christopher Cruz.
Bank Plus makes it easier to bank. With extended drive-through hours plus 24/7 online and mobile banking, we're here when you need us. Lost your debit card? Get a new one instantly at any Bank Plus location. No waiting for the mail. And interactive teller machines offer drive-up personal service 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturdays. Your bank, your plus. Learn more at bankplus.net. Member FDIC.
This is Casey Holcomb with Mississippi Hometown Realty. Summer is here, and it's the perfect time to buy or sell. When you're ready, I want you to think of me first. I will help guide you through the entire process without the stress. Check out my website at mshomesforyou.com. That's mshomesforyou.com. This is Casey Holcomb. Still, I'm doing what I love and loving what I do.
MS license number 51833. Telephone number 601-398-1620.
Have you noticed all these people acting like the sky is falling? All this tariff talk has folks real nervous, but at iGear Optical, we've got you covered. Our prices remain solid on all our quality products. While all other shops are raising prices, we are not. Come get a great pair of eyeglasses, computer glasses, or sunglasses that fit you, your lifestyle, and your budget every day at iGear Optical, 2630 Highway 80 East in Pearl, and on the web at iGearOptical.com.
You can show your pride and patriotism in honor of the 250th birthday of this great nation by proudly flying a flag. And a complete flag source on I-55 in Jackson is the place to find it. All sizes for all purposes. And they have the official 250-year celebration flag. Have a look at CompleteFlags.com. That's CompleteFlags.com.
Come together.
Welcome back to the Lindsey Beckham Show here on WIAB on this fantastic Friday, long holiday weekend ahead of us. Maybe the sun will come out and it won't rain the whole time. Fingers crossed. 601-879-0002 is the number to call in and chat with me today. Give me your thoughts or opinions. And you can always email me, Lindsey@wyab.com. It's Lindsey @wyab.com. And that will come to me if there's anything that you want to talk about or you want me to discuss or you want me to look at. Feel free to send it there. We are actually streaming live on X for the first time today. So we've added X into the mix here. We are normally streaming live every day on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Just real quick, coming up next week, I believe Sean will be here with me on Monday where we'll break down the latest in the Adelson trial out of Tallahassee, Florida. And then Morgan will be back with me on Tuesday. Y'all seem to be really enjoying our conversations and the girl chat, talking about kids and motherhood and perimenopause and all the things. So definitely tune in on Tuesday to catch Morgan. You probably are hearing her commercial if you listen to WIAB very much, that is now playing the Women's Wellness of Mississippi commercial that she just recorded for us. It sounds great. And definitely get over to Women's Wellness. If you need a boost in energy, if you need just some lab work done, checking all those levels, making sure everything's working properly, functioning as it should. If you are interested in weight loss, they do provide the compounded semaglutide, which is like the generic Ozempic. It has proved to be working on me anyway. I know that Sean and Clay have both had great results with it as well. Much more affordable than you would think, and they're just able to do everything over there. So check them out, give them a call, find them online, go follow their pages. They can keep you up to date on all the latest things. I'm going to get one of their glass facials, I think in 2 weeks from now. So I'm going to record and document that whole process so I can show you guys exactly what goes into it and the results. So I'm excited about that, super excited about that. One thing I have been screaming from the rooftops around here is the negative impact and the problems that we are going to see with AI, especially when we are talking about our children. It's kind of like Pandora's box at this point. I don't think you can put it back. We are at a point now where people are now in relationships with their bot, their Chat GPT bot. I think this has happened extremely fast. I don't think any of us were really expecting it to take on or to take off this way. I actually did watch Terminator 2 a few weeks ago with Sean because he kept talking about it and how this is like the movie was predicting the future. And I'll be danged, it kind of was. I don't like to tell him he's right very often, but I mean, I may have to on this one. I'm a little afraid. We've already seen the problems over in the Corinth School District here in Mississippi, where one of the teachers had taken pictures that he found of 20 of his female students from social media, plugged them into AI, and made pornographic videos of these girls taking each other's clothes off and doing and performing sexual acts. We saw it be swept under the rug. We saw the school board be lied about it. We saw the superintendent hide it. This teacher was made to leave or to He wasn't fired. But because he wasn't fired, he was able to turn around and go get a job at Child Protective Services. Like, are you kidding me? You cannot make this stuff up. Now, eventually, I say, the Mississippi Department of Education was made aware that this was going on, and then they waited another month before taking it to law enforcement. It's outrageous. These are the problems we're going to see with AI. We got a caller. Caller, you're on the air.
Hi, and forgive me if I'm jumping in on a text or on a topic that may not be addressed, but I just had to call because I had a lunch with my precious brother yesterday, whose grandson, who is now 7, at up to the age of 3, was absolutely perfect. And then after following up with different vaccines, is now just absolutely so autistic and everything. And he was absolutely perfect up until then. And I said, "Oh my gosh, have you listened to Lindsey Beckham's story?" And he said, "No, I haven't." And I said, "Well, you need to do that." But I wanted to ask you, his daughter is his grandson, and he wanted to ask you, are there other places other than in Mississippi that their child is now in Arkansas? Are there other places where people are now joining together to look into this? And I said, well, I'll call them in.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's an organization in Mississippi called Mississippi Parents for Vaccine Rights. And that's the organization that really fought to get a religious exemption here. We weren't able to get anything done at the legislative level. And so eventually we had attorneys that came in with the Informed Consent Action Network out of Texas and helped us sue the state of Mississippi. I think we had 7 plaintiffs in that case. We won that lawsuit in a federal court, and now there are religious exemptions. So you do not have to vaccinate your child in order for them to attend school in the state any longer. What you can do is you can call the health department closest to you, or actually any health department in the state, get an appointment. You'll go in and watch about a 20-minute video. You'll sign a form, and then they will send you a religious exemption, which you present to the school when you register your child, that they have to legally accept. So there's that in place. And then also Moms for Liberty, which is the organization that I work with. I'm part of the national organization, and I work very closely with them. And we advocate in all areas for parental rights. And to me, this is a parental rights issue. It should be up to the parents to do the research and then make these decisions for their children. If there is something that has a warning on the side of the box that says it can cause death, I should not be forced to inject that into my child. But yes, I completely understand what you are saying, because like what you're saying, that's what I saw with my son. The regression was immediate. He lost eye contact. He didn't smile anymore.
He was the totally most perfect little 2-year-old. All of a sudden, all speech stopped.
Yep.
And now he is 7. And my brother said he gets on the little bitty short bus, which is kind of a slam dunk for kids that have issues. And he said he was so perfect up until then. All speech stopped.
Yep. That's the one thing that happens with a lot of them. It's the verbal. They lose their verbal skills. My son would spin in circles. I believe he had inflammation on the brain. He would beat his head against every hard surface he could find. And, it's parents speaking out about this when they see these things happen right in front of their eyes to their children. They have nothing to gain from it. They're not making it up.
No. And that's what he said. And his sweet, precious, adorable mama was saying, what did I do?
Yeah.
I did everything they told me I should do.
Yep.
And I said, I don't know. It's so awful. I can't imagine. But what he wanted me to ask you, and this is just my question for you because I wasn't sure. Is there, because it involves his grandson, is it a markedly higher level for males?
Absolutely. It's about double in males. It's about double in males.
And that's what he wanted me to ask you. Because I said, well, honey, I don't know, but I'll ask.
I don't know
So
if you caught
markedly
the
larger for males.
much larger in males. I don't know if you caught the very first segment, but I talked about what RFK is doing right now, and he's actually doing the safety studies that have never been done and looking at all the data. And he had a press conference with President Trump Tuesday where he said he has answers and he has figured some of this out, and he is going to be releasing what he has found next month in September. So I just, and also I encourage everyone, if you must vaccinate, if you have to vaccinate, if you can't find a way to get an exemption, you need to realize your pediatrician is telling you things because they are getting these outrageous quarterly bonuses. And this is listed.
Yeah, and plus they're just getting the drug reps come in and they're just getting what's being funneled down by the CDC. And so, they're doing what they think is in the best interest, and they don't really have anything to challenge it until people actually step up.
I challenge people all the time that when you're in there with your pediatrician, ask your pediatrician what the ingredients are, what the side effects could be, and what does the package insert say, because they don't know and they can't tell you. And if they don't know and can't tell me those things, then how dare you recommend that I inject my baby with it?
Well, I just, and forgive me and if it's too personal, you don't have to share it, but is your little boy doing okay now?
He is. He's doing really well. He has an IEP. He is in public school. He does get to spend the majority of his day in a normal classroom, which is what we are, hoping and shooting for, that he could, that he's able to go on and live a normal life. I had some really great people around me at the time who knew a lot about this topic. And there are things you can do if you are backed into a corner, you live in a place where you can't get an exemption and you have to find yourself where you have to vaccinate your child. There are ways to detox. One thing I can tell people, do not give Tylenol. They tell you immediately give your child Tylenol because to help with the discomfort. No, do not do that. You are adding another thing to their little tiny system that they're going to have to filter and process through their body. And that just slows the whole process down of them ridding the body of the toxins.
Well, what my brother asked me, and he wanted me to ask you, he said his little grandson Titus is 7. He said, is there any hope for us, or is he?
Yes.
Is there anything that can he recover from this? Can he become a normal kid?
Yeah, absolutely. There are ways to, like I said, there are ways to detox, and there are therapies that have proven to work really well. And there are steady learning more and finding more ways to help these children. So absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes.
God bless you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, and forgive me for interrupting your call.
No, you're fine. You're absolutely. Thank you for
so
your
much.
call. I appreciate it so much. You have a great weekend.
You too. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, we will be right back here to wrap things up on this Friday on the Lindsey Beckham Show. On this Friday on the Lindsey Beckham Show.
.1039 WYAB.
I like my insurance like I like my burrito, with everything rolled into one. Was in a state of craving amigo, so my agent showed me how it's done. He wrapped up my auto, my home, and my life. The discounts I'm getting are great. Everything good right there on one plate. Get to a better state, State Farm.
To keep more of your money in your pocket, call John Dorsa at 978-2302.
Can't take your team out to lunch? Have lunch brought to your team with Mangia Bene Catering. You already know Mangia Bene. They're the masterminds behind Broad Street Bakery, Bravo Italian Restaurant, and Sal and Mookie's. And now Mangia Bene wants to feed your office of 10, 100, or even 1,000. Delicious box lunches, salads, sandwiches. We even do breakfast. Take your next lunch meeting up a level. Mangia Bene Catering. Call Mangia Bene to get started. 601-362-2900. That's 601-362-2900.
For over 15 years, A1 Gear and Auto has been your hometown specialist for your auto repair and maintenance needs. From brake repair to placement to radiators, engines, starters, alternators, heat, and AC water pumps, and more, A1 will get your vehicle back up and running and on the road and in a timely manner. A1 is one of the only shops in the metro that specializes in rear differentials, rear ends, and rings and pinions. Call today to set up an appointment, or if you got questions, at 601-939-1060. A1 Gear and Auto, your hometown vehicle specialist.
Why should you choose Ceramic Air Conditioning and Heating for all service or installation? Well, they purchase all parts directly from the manufacturer. All of their factory-trained technicians have been hand-selected for skill, work ethic, and experience. There are never any hidden fees or charges. Ceramic Air Conditioning and Heating is dedicated to your complete satisfaction, and they're family-owned and operated. For residential and commercial service or installation, contact Ceramic Air Conditioning and Heating, 601-317-0729, or make an appointment through their Facebook page.
Here at Lake and Glass and Tint, we've become well known for two things: window tint and windshields. Now, when it comes to window tint, you already know that we're the go-to for home, car, and office. And as always, we offer free consultations. So if you're in the need of window tint or windshields, give us a call, 601-946-1000. Check us out on Facebook or Instagram, or at lakeandglassandtint.com. Lake and Glass and Tint, where quality matters.
The mowing season is full on here in Mississippi. I'm David Frederick, owner of Frederick Sales and Service in Brandon. The industry-changing Exmark Laser Z commercial mower turns 30 years old this year and has been redesigned with even more great features you just have to see. We have a sale going on with instant rebates, and 0% financing is available too. Stop by our store and let our award-winning staff show you the Exmark difference. Fredericks and Exmark, over 3 decades serving you in Brandon since 1993.
Ladies, tired of running on empty, sleepless nights, mood swings, stubborn weight, skin that has lost its glow? It is not just getting older. It is your body begging for help. Hey, y'all, I'm Morgan at Women's Wellness in Mississippi. At Women's Wellness in Mississippi, we bring it all together. Hormone therapy, medical weight loss, and the latest, greatest aesthetic treatments like facials, lasers, Botox, and so much more. This is where wellness and beauty meet so that you can feel amazing inside and out. At Women's Wellness in Mississippi, the best version of you is waiting right around the corner.
Hi, folks. Kim Wade here. Mississippi Energy Services provides generators. That's right. You may not need it now, but when you need backup power, you need a backup power generator from Mississippi Energy Services. Never again have to worry about being without heat, air conditioning, or all your frozen items spoiling because your energy was lost. You got backup power now, and it's so reliable. You'll be pleased with Mississippi Energy Services. Online at msenergy.us.
Come together.
We are back here on the Lindsey Beckham Show, where we have just a few seconds to wrap things up for the week. I hope everyone has an amazing long Labor Day weekend and that you get to relax and spend time with your family and doing things that you love. We will be back here on Monday. Sean will be with me to discuss the Adelson trial. Tuesday, Morgan will be back here with me to talk all things girl talk. So we'll see you then. Bye.